Hello, I'm Robert, and this is I think this will be my last one in a series of things that people just don't know. And this is about how you can do contact tracing yourself. So this is quite a nice graphic I just found in the Wikipedia. This shows someone who has been contagious and you had symptoms. So the one step behind is you self-isolate only when you know you're infected. And you might well have already given it to several other people who don't have symptoms yet. And then you might have other people who you haven't given it to. Most often actually you haven't given it to anyone at this point. But there will be some that you may have given it to at that point. And that's the reason why you do the contact tracing. So if you're one step behind, then you isolate there, and then they go and infect someone, then you isolate them, but they've already infected someone else, and so on. And it does work, because you're stopping some of the infection, you're stopping all the infection that could have happened. Like, remember, it goes in super spreader events. So by isolating as soon as you have symptoms, you stop any future super spreader events that might have happened after that. But the ones that have already happened, then they're already infected. So if you have already super spread it. So the contact tracing then is to find the people that you've that you are in contact with. So the thing that most people again don't know is that you can do your own contact tracing. You don't need to wait for someone to ring you up. If you've got COVID-19, then the responsible thing to do is to ring up all your contacts. And the thing is that COVID-19 is really quite different from flu. Your contacts, remember I said before, it's usually someone you've been talking to within 1 meter for a quarter of an hour or more. Or some very close physical contact. And these are usually people that you either know and you've already got their details, or if you don't know, you know someone who knows them, or your boss knows them, or someone you know how to get hold of their contact details. So you don't need the specialist support of a contact tracer. You would likely just need to lift up your phone and either ring them up directly or ring someone else up, who then will be able to contact them. You just get your mobile phone and be a bit old-fashioned there. Just get out your mobile phone and just hit their name, and you get through to them in minutes. And the faster you can get through to them, the better. That's why you should contact them right away. That's the best if you want to. And then if they understand that why you're contacting them, and you explain that if they have been infected, they probably haven't infected anyone else yet, and that's why they would quarantine, to protect the rest of their household and the other people they interact with, then most people will want to quarantine if they really understand. And so that's something we can all do. But I mean, you might well ring these people up and they just say, "Oh, I'm just going to keep on doing everything." You can't. You've done your bit at that point. If they say, "Oh well," you try and explain to them, but you can't make them quarantine, obviously. But you can inform them and help them to understand that if they do quarantine, then that's going to protect the people who are close to them from getting COVID-19. And if we all did that, then we wouldn't really need the contact tracers, except in very rare situations, because most of the time the people you want to contact are people that you know. And so, and then the contact tracers would be left, and so they would ring you up and you say, "Do you have any contacts?" And you would say, "Yes, I've already rang them all up." And so that'll save them a lot of work. And you could say they're already quarantining, and you get a rather surprised contact tracer who rings you up as the index case. You say, "Well, actually, I told them all, and they're all quarantined now already," and give them a little bit of a boost in their work. I'm not sure. We have these rather perverse incentives in the UK, sadly, that you have this. Anyway, it's more important to quarantine, but there's a bonus, and you have to go. Hopefully, the contact tracers will accept and will let these quarantine people have this bonus. So maybe they would have to go and ring them up. I'm not quite sure how it works, but anyway, that's what you have to do. Is just that's the responsible thing to do. That is how to help stop it in its cracks. And so if we all did that, then really this thing wouldn't last long. It's quite surprisingly easy to stop COVID-19 if you do really systematic, rigorous public health, and if people really understand clearly what it is they have to do and why they're doing it. And then it just makes sense. And then they really should have support. So that's not something you can really do very well, but you can offer support in terms of phone support, talking to them and talking them through it, and the kind of social support, and then helping them to find a way to get their shopping and so on. So you can do that sort of support. Really, I think our government should be providing very strong other kinds of financial support, and then also quarantine hotels, like I said in the previous video, or quarantine community centres. If we did this, we would not be in lockdown. If we had done this in the summer, we would not be here. We would have got rid of it in the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom would have been like New Zealand. It would have been COVID-19 free, with just the occasional cases, and then we go in very, very fast. And we do this, and test everyone, and then we quickly quarantine isolate. If we had done this in March, or indeed in February, and if we had ramped up the testing, remember I said that China had 4-hour PCR tests completed in 4 hours, a 4 hours turnaround of PCR tests in January. We still don't have that in the United Kingdom. People would just be waiting in the hospitals in Wuhan for 4 hours, waiting for the PCR test results to come back. And we are nowhere near that. And that they didn't need these new rapid tests if they had built in the support for PCR right from the start in February. But it wouldn't even have got that far. We could have stopped it in February. It's important to realise that. I know it's an uncomfortable, hard truth. But if the United Kingdom had been as rigorous as the World Health Organization was suggesting back in February, back in January indeed even, if they had done the surveillance in the community and they were already testing for people, then they would have found it before it spread far. And then if they had done test, trace, isolate, supported isolation, supported quarantine, then it would just simply have been gone. The United Kingdom would have been virus-free all the year if they'd done that. And with just occasional, some transmission coming in and immediately controlling it. That's important because going forward we can achieve that. We can bring the cases right down, and this, what I described to you, is an important part of how you do it, and getting the public on board, get them to realise that they can do the tracing, and to realise that it's the contacts of people that they know, and they're helping these people to protect their families and their loved ones. And it's a community spirit that you don't do contact tracing because you want to get them in trouble. You do contact tracing, everyone should want to do contact tracing so that they can protect it from going further to the people that they care about. And it just makes sense. And it makes no sense, and it's absolute nonsense to not do this. And especially in lockdown, then with people confined together in a small house, and one of them is a contact, then that contact should be quarantining away as best they possibly can once they know they are a contact, especially during lockdown. And if someone is a case in a house, they should isolate. And then we have all these people meeting up over Christmas, the ones who have decided to go with the thing in the United Kingdom. I'm talking about the United Kingdom especially. The United States the same, other countries, Latin America, wherever you are. Then if during the Christmas celebrations one of you starts to develop the symptoms of COVID-19, or one of you learns that you're a contact, then immediately quarantine or isolate. Just stop the celebrations for that person, or you'll do the best you can through Skype or whatever to other people in the house. They can take part in the party from their bedroom via Skype or something, or via Zoom, or whatever it is that you're doing. And so you can do that, but cut the transmission. It's not going to be a nice Christmas if you discover your contact, you don't do anything, and then it spreads to everyone else. So if you discover that you're a contact, almost certainly you haven't yet spread it to anyone. So separate, break the transmission, retire to your room. So I'll do one more video. I will just briefly talk about how you quarantine and how you isolate, which I haven't done in previous videos. So I'll do one more video on that. And so hopefully this helps, and you help to get a little bit more awareness about what we all have to do and how to do it.